Oh, hey, didn't see you there. I was just learning some Egyptian hieroglyphics since that's where I am during this whole quarantine. And ever since Twitter and Instagram keep reminding me that if I'm not utilizing this newfound time to become the next Jeff Bezos or Harold Williams, then I'm not living my best life. As if recreating your own Buffalo Wild Wings inside an Airbnb isn't living one's best life.
Come on, Kobe, come on! Alright, we want him to make these because we're already down. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think we're going to win this 2008 game.
That was the question. You said you wanted to watch this game, but it seems to be causing you physical pain.
I like to watch it just because it just reminded me that it can always get worse, and watching Kobe lose by almost 30 points. Martín. Ahead. Can I get another one, please? Cheers, man.
Apparently, going to bars to watch live sports and drink alcohol was the one thing that kept me from doing this to my hair. And maybe also stopped me from sending every single Bumble date that I've had in the past 3 years a link to this show so that way they can see what they were missing. I mean, on one hand, I can't go out, so I should probably find a more productive way to utilize this extra time that isn't watching the 2008 Lakers finals just so I could still remember what pain feels like. But therein lies the problem. Are these internet expectations harming or helping us? Because there should be a balance between learning a new robot language and learning how to make sourdough bread. So today on La Semanal, Martín and I will be discussing these great expectations. So stick around. It's not like you can go anywhere.
Alright, so anyways, Martín, again, what's going on? How are you?
I'm good.
It's been a week.
It's been a week. Well, it's been a little bit less than a week because we did have that bonding time together over beer and basketball.
That's right. When you visited me at my Airbnb Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yes. I was really impressed. You went. If I were Buffalo Wild Wings, I would be really considering you for a new spokesperson.
Absolutely.
I have to admit that the whole ritual of going to a sports bar to watch the sports for me is like I don't usually do it unless I'm like going like there's like a special occasion, like it's the Super Bowl or it's the final for something or the other. And I'm amazed at the quantity of sports you can have on different screens at the same time. And the attention you guys have to every screen.
Oh, yeah, man. I think that's the only time where men have, like, they can multitask.
Yeah.
And that's if it's, like, live sports where we have to, all right, who just got fouled over here? Who has a free throw, free kick, and what are the scores? We're in the Matrix. All those screens is like what Neo sees, and like that.
Meanwhile, like the moment I choose to like take one of my wings and dip it on ranch is the moment someone scores like a big one and everything flies.
That's why you have to again multitask. Not only do you have to pay attention to the scores, you have to eat. You have to be able to dip, and you're in the correct receptacle, by the way. You can't be dipping in other people's stuff, exactly. Which I have done.
Dipping in someone else's ranch. That's a porno title if I ever heard one.
I'm buying that domain right now. Anyways, well, let's get back down to the topic at hand. Great expectations. What kind of expectations have you had during this quarantine? Not only obviously expectations from yourself, but from like the outside world, from Twitter, from Instagram. Have you felt that?
I follow a lot of, let's call them inspiration accounts, and by that I mean guys who work out a lot and like take photos shirtless of themselves. Before quarantine, that was, nice, like, they woke up at 5 a.m. and then I woke up at 10 and I'm like, yay, like I already have my porn here. It's them working out. And now it's like all of them are saying like, you shouldn't give up. You should keep your routine. You should just, being in quarantine is not an excuse to stop having gains. And I'm like, dude, I love your pecs, but I'm not gonna do a push-up.
I completely agree with you, and I feel some of it. I feel like like with all those type of people that say that type of shit. Like, yeah, let's wake up and grind out 50 sets of stairwell whatever. I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna do that. I can barely manage getting out of bed, and you want me to go outside into a stairwell? There might be Rona on them fucking steps.
I have to, and I'm gonna send you this so you can put it like when we're talking about this right now. There was this guy who actually made a system of he has like in his yard with like pulleys and stuff so he can keep on working out as he continues to go through quarantine, and it's just like this complex thing so he will not lose like 1 pound of muscle mass. And on the one hand it's impressive, and on the other hand, A, impressive, B, thank you, I like watching that, C, you could have just, you could just lay still for like 1 month. It's gonna be fine. You're still beautiful. Like, it's fine.
I actually used to work out quite a bit, and I love the phase in which where you had a bulk, so you can just eat a fuck ton, but then you basically had to like cut, but during that 1 month stretch, you were just able to bulk up, and I feel like everyone around should be like, all right, dude, this is my bulking period. It might be extended a little bit. I mean, what else are you going to do with the 5 kilos of rice that you bought at the beginning of this, and you haven't even made half a kilo of rice? You've just been Uber eating the whole fucking time.
Yeah. The sad thing...
I might be talking by experience from that.
The sad thing for me in that experience is that I also bought a whole bunch of rice, and it's like, yay, rice, healthy. But I ended up making rice pudding, or like they call it in Mexico, arroz con leche, which is just sugar and rice. That's my other thing during quarantine. Like, if I'm not following buff guys on Instagram, I'm following recipe, like cooking accounts. But they're baking and they're doing things. And I actually did bake lavender tea cake the other day.
I saw that.
Yeah.
And how did it come out?
It came out amazing. It might be just the fact that I haven't that it, I made it and it took a while. So I'm not gonna admit to myself that it didn't come out okay. But I'm fine with it. I'm like, you know what? I'm cool. In my grandmother's word, ya me puedo casar.
I am not like you. Like, I am extremely critical in things that I do, even if it's the first time or second time. I remember the first time I tried to do homemade cookies from scratch. It was maybe, I think, my second or third year just getting here to Mexico. And I went to the Superama to ask them, like, do you guys have the Pillsbury dough cookie dough, And back home, it's basically just a tube, right? And I'm there talking to the associate. I'm like, hey, do you have, like, the tube cookies? Like, just doing this. And he was like, he just looked at him. He's like, the fuck is this guy propositioning me right now? And I obviously didn't realize what I was doing. And he was like, no, we don't do that here. And I'm like, you don't do what here? You don't sell cookie dough mix? And until I got back and I was like, oh, I probably shouldn't have done that. Yeah. But anyways, I found a recipe and I'm like, all right, it's basically 5-6 ingredients. How hard could it be? I try to do it. I obviously get a bottle of whiskey, watch some Mad Men, and begin the whole mixing and baking process. Dude, they literally came out looking gross. I think one of my Instagram comments, some girl from back home, she was like, se ve como chorro. And I'm like, damn, they straight up do, and they... So
Yeah, chocolate chip cookies
I'm critical.
are one of the things that I'm very comfortable buying made.
So speaking of, guess who's gonna make some bread tomorrow?
You
It's
bought a whole brick of leavening.
literally feels like a small brick.
Yeah,
But
you're gonna
so
have to
it
share
is.
the results of that next time.
Oh, weren't we speaking like our next episodes should just be like our attempts at cooking while we narrate the whole shit show that might happen?
But coming back to Great Expectations, you had something to show me.
I did. Have you had expectations, whether they be great or not, put upon you for you to do things? And you said maybe the whole working out
Yeah.
aspect, because you see people and these inspirational
They're
accounts saying,
so into it. There was this like couple who are like every day 10 a.m. doing a live class of like you can work out in a couple, you can work out together. It's like bitch, couples aren't even talking to each other anymore.
go into it gung ho and just full
I-
of aspiration, be like, yeah, I can do it.
I think that if you keep your expectations low, then when you surpass them, then you feel really proud of yourself, even if you didn't do that much.
I 100% agree. I mean, that's why the only expectations that I have of myself, and I think everyone should have, is literally waking up, try not to get sick, maybe do some work if you have to. I mean, if I was a kid, I'd be like, yeah, fuck that. My expectation is eating, so long as it's provided. Video games, so long as my parents went to work and they have the lights on. That's literally people should have like a base, a foundation of what they should expect of themselves, and waking up should be number one. Getting out of bed should probably be 1A.
Yeah, no, there's some days when like getting out of bed for me, it's like, yeah, no, let's wait for a little while longer.
But does that delve in, or does that actually evolve into you looking at your phone and be like, oh, it's 10 o'clock, and I've been in bed all day?
Yeah, no, you know what really helps to stay in bed all day? If you leave your phone just far away for you like to not reach it, and you know, like part of you, like it's like in your mind, or at least in my mind, I'm thinking, if I don't look at my phone, then technically nothing is happening until I look at it. It's false. It's just one of the many lies we tell ourselves in this household. But like for me, it's kind of comforting. Like, you know, as long as my phone is over there and I am over here, you know, the day's not officially begun.
If that's the barometer of beginning days, then I haven't begun any days since Thursday, man. Shout out to all the people on my Instagram that I spammed our first episode. Be like, hey, would love your input and views and likes. It actually really did help, but
Yeah.
I've been
Thanks to everyone.
a bit too afraid to actually go through my messages because I've received a ton of replies. Probably most of them are like, dude, I don't know you. I've never even spoken to you. Why are you sending me random fucking videos of yourself talking into a camera?
Well, you can always say like, hey, look on the bright side. I did not send you a nude.
Right? It wasn't a dick pic. That should be at least points in my favor.
That's what I'm saying.
So, like and subscribe. Again, I'll probably do that shit this week.
Yes, thank you to everyone who's here watching, by the way. We wouldn't be here without you. Actually, we would. This is literally just an excuse to talk to James, and you're just here, like, as some sort of creepy voyeur. Speaking of Great Expectations, one of my favorite movies.
I didn't realize that was a movie. I thought it was always like a Dickens book, which I have obviously also never read.
And Gwyneth Paltrow. Do you like Gwyneth Paltrow?
As an actress, not really. As a person, less. So,
But she's
no,
selling
no,
so
no.
many great things. She actually has like a garlic water thing to repel against vampires.
And if vampires were real, they would probably be like, no, that doesn't work against us. You'd see it on BuzzFeed, be like, Goop, selling fake news again, fake products. With like the spokesperson of the vampire guys, like, no, that's something that you guys made up for some fucking reason. One of our vampires just had a garlic allergy, and you guys ran with that.
We actually love garlic. We're Italian, like.
There you- yeah, there you go. We're European. We come from Transylvania. That's what
Exactly.
that's what we're about. Let's pause for a minute.
Yeah.
For some fucking reason, I put my bottle of wine all the way over there.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my wine too. You ready?
Another thing that I wanted to touch upon. I saw this meme earlier that basically said, so tomorrow's Cinco de Mayo. It's on a Tuesday, so Taco Tuesday. And we're having all of this during a pandemic named after a Mexican beer called Corona. I feel
Wow.
like the trifecta right there. It's Mexico's time to do something with it, and I feel you being bougie as Mexicans say, no, fuck that. We don't celebrate Cinco de Mayo. What the fuck is that about, bro? It's just a good ass time for people to hang out and drink tequila, eat some tacos.
As long as there's a margarita somewhere, I'm good.
I agree. Here's the next thing I wanted to talk to you about. The thing that was so excited. Have you heard the collab that Banda Sinaloense and Snoop Dogg have done?
No. Please
Oh,
show me
my-
this.
No. I can't. We can't.
Right,
share
of
audio,
course.
so
My
I-
God. Oh shit.
To it, I'll overlay like a soundbite enough for us not to get copyrighted. But yeah, listen to it, so we can definitely talk about this in a minute.
This works so well.
Right? It's. I don't want to say revolutionary. That might be a bit too controversial.
Too much.
A bit too much, yeah.
But I mean, it works perfect. It's like it's not something I would. I'm not a super banda fan.
Snoop Dogg killed the whole
He did.
His
No.
verses in Spanish, he like killed it.
Yeah, and the way
I mean,
he goes from English to Spanish.
Ay mami, something. I was like, oh, dude, this is. I've been literally listening to this about 20 to 30 times ever since someone showed it to me on Friday or Saturday. I was like, oh god! Like my expectations, obviously, when they told me Snoop Dogg did a collab with some Banda people, I'm like, well, I don't know who the fuck Banda people are, but I guess that's gonna be cool.
Yeah,
Turns out that was the genre of music.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, well, at least there's like there's it's gonna be interesting. At least your expectations were low, and that's
Exactly,
the thing.
and
Your expectations were low, so when you find it surprised you, in a good way.
in the best of ways, man. I honestly can't believe how good that song is. So that was one of the things I wanted to speak to you about. The other one was Dia del Niño.
Oh, yeah. The thing for me with that is like they're like, oh, it's Children's Day, and I'm gonna, and it's like keep your inner child alive and blah blah blah, and it's like, could you just talk about let the day be about the kids, and not about you terrified about growing up, like I saw these photos and I'm like, congratulations on having been a smaller human at some point, I guess.
Or as Michael Jordan once said, fuck them kids.
Fuck them kids.
I feel like we have to. I have to say that one line every episode.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
I mean,
You're gonna have to come
had
up
a
with an excuse to fuck them kids once an episode.
all right. No, no. That's okay. Let's put that in context, please.
they they're gonna take this clip out of this, and then it's gonna be like canceled.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, hopefully this never happens, but I feel like this is one of those times where in a Netflix documentary, I'm like in jail, I'm going through a fucking trial, and they're just gonna overlay this during my trial with you saying, you're gonna have to find a reason to fuck them kids. Every episode. And everyone's just gonna judge me. I'm like, God, sorry, I need to stop saying that because
Yeah.
I can just see sound bites.
Not until you have to stop saying that until the next time you find an opportunity to, you know.
Speaking of that, during this whole quarantine situation, during this whole pandemic situation, I should probably say, has there been anything that has exceeded your expectations? In a good way, not like in a horribly depressing way.
Like, I've been way more depressed than I thought I was gonna be. No.
Yeah, hooray! I reached a new low, which is
Exactly.
now.
Like,
Yeah.
who knew you could run out of tears? No. No, like on a positive
hold
note.
on.
On a positive note, what has exceeded expectations here in quarantine? On a positive note, wow, you're really you're really making me think. Like, be positive, Martin. No, you know what has exceeded expectations on a positive note for me? I have learned that I can, in fact, like, because like I have been talking to friends just to, like, you and other people on phones, and some of the phone calls I'm not even recording to post somewhere. Like, I've reconnected with so many friends. And it's like, hey, and it's like, before it's like I only have an hour to talk to you, and it's like, no, we can talk for 2 hours, and then for
But do you want to though? That's the question.
I do, and like, it's been good, but also, but then at the end it's this awkward thing where it's like, crap, I want, we ran, you have to go do your shit, I'm have to go do my shit, and both of us are in this place like, maybe we'll see each other after this is all over, and it's a lie. It's a lie.
Like, yeah.
We're not gonna, like, you live in San Miguel de Allende, I live here. Maybe if I go there, I will call you. More likely than not, no.
I would actually end that with a. I guess we can talk during the next pandemic? Maybe? Maybe I've made newer friends that are better than you, but if not, you're on my list.
But if I get
Even
if I go that far down enough on my contact list, I may get to you. Hey everyone, just popping here at the end to tell you that you should subscribe to the channel, you should like this video, you should click that bell so you get notified when we upload another video, and you should also leave a comment, if you want. Just, tell us what you like, what you want us to talk about, maybe. Follow us on our socials, which should be, somewhere under here. And yeah. Oh yeah, this is no longer wine now, this is beer. We had some issues with the ending, so we had to re-record, and that's why I have a different shirt and everything. So yeah, I think that's it. Just subscribe and leave a comment. And I don't know, wash your hands. Bye.